Hey guys, it's mlzplayer here, and we're back with another episode of Tarkov, episode 4 this time, and we're going to be talking about room clearing, using 3 different games to demonstrate it, and most specifically because it's actually not Tarkov, it is Whiteboard Tarkov, but it was the old series that got deleted. It had a similar vibe to it, so we'll take it as it is. It is I'm trying to apply some very basic room clearing tactics that I taught myself, and that worked pretty well for me in tactical shooters as well as Tarkov. So, you know what? I hope you can glean something off of it. But do note, I'm not military, or police, or any form of private security, so I do not have the expertise on the subject. But I am pretty good at video games, and I've played a lot of them for a lot of time. So I feel like I'm qualified to at least extrapolate some concepts that have been discussed from people like Project Gecko to, just videos online and other resources. But with all that out of the way, we should probably get right into Dorkers 2 as the first example of this concept. It's very good at a top-down whiteboard style explanation like the series is going for. Let's get right into it. Okay, so we're here in Door Kickers 2, and just pretend that this area isn't seen because I can't actually see it from this moment. In how I understand it, a room has 4 corners, and there are a couple different layouts of rooms. I'm just going to focus on one simple layout like this, and I am going to be using the doctrine that I've gathered from various militaries, and especially a Project Gecko, who are very good at explaining CQB in a military and police force fashion. But I'm not going to remember everything because honestly, I don't, I do have fun with this. However, I have very little practical application, so I don't strictly learn this. I haven't gone to any courses on this. I'm not an expert in the subject by any means. But from what I understand it, this is probably one of the most common room layouts you're going to see. A box. Maybe you'll have some furniture like a table or a bed or a light post, but basically the concept is the same. And I'm going to apply a concept which I understand as limited penetration entry, and that is to, from what I make of it, it is how to expose as little as of yourself to harm, so not like a dynamic entry. I don't know if you've seen the movies where everyone just is outside the door and they flow in really quickly. Try to use the element of surprise to take everyone off guard. While limited penetration entry is like a very slowed down version of that. So this concept can be applied with one person, so I'm just going to use one person for the demonstration. However, 2 people works best, so we might actually use this first. We're in Tarkov. If you play solo, you're only going to be using one person. So the first thing to analyzing a room, if you don't know what's in the room, you might at least know the shape of the room. There are 4 corners, right? You have 1, 2, 3, 4 in a standard box. These corners, I call it soft corners, the easy corners. And that's because I can look into the room from the outside. I can go around like this. If you see the blue, I can sweep all of these corners by myself. And putting myself at limited harm, too, if I do it very quickly, while keeping my gun at ready. And in Tarkov, this would be like 88ing back and forth, slowly by slowly, and just pieing off that room, pieing the angle, just taking a slice of it, and trying to get as much of this area into known safe or hostile factors before we actually dedicate ourselves to entering it. So I can demonstrate that now. And bam, look, we've already cleared most of this room. And if there was a threat here, I don't have any threats placed on the map quite yet. We would be able to easily eliminate them if we have, good aim and good reaction times. But the problem is, what you come to is these 2 corners. I can't see these from the outside. I can kind of get as much room, get right up to it, and work that angle to see as much as I possibly can. And of course, who knows, if there's a wall right here, we might have a closet or something. So you don't really know what's past these corners, I mean, for the most part, when you're going into a situation where you don't know the room very well. So the biggest thing is the immediate threat is probably not going to be here. There might be another doorway or something where a threat may appear from, and you may have to watch for that. The closest thing to us are these 2 corners. So how I would do it if I was using two people is I'd get them up here holding their respective angles into the room, and then have them both wrap around at the same time to clear these both, like that. There we go. That's good clear. Maybe the timing's a little off, but that's not the important part. But as a one-man, you kind of have to decide if you're in a video game, right? If you're just one person, which of these corners are you going to clear first? I usually like to stick to the one that I'm facing left from. I just find that most people like to stick left. But the most important thing is once you've come in and cleared that left, you immediately whip around right and get full coverage into the room. So now we're going to demonstrate what that is in a more like first-person sense. Let's jump right in. Here we are. Okay, it's a little dim, so we're just going to crank up that time. Oh, or crank down that time. It's so late. Okay. There we go. Look at that. Lighting's nice. Be a little more of it, in fact. Let's get to 12 o'clock. Oh, game crash. Many things are happening. Okay, it looks like we're good. This is the most light we're going to squeeze out of the game engine, I guess. We're just going to get an example gun. This is from the last public match I played, so we'll just get a... Probably... I guess a pistol would probably be best to demonstrate these things, so we'll stick with the pistol. An M9 to be specific. So, first of all, this is much different. So I'm going to try to use the basic tactics that I've explained, and we're going to apply them to a variety of situations. So first, we got this doorway. It's not open, and we don't know what's behind it. So we're going to open this up. Don't expose any of yourself, and try to get as much visual into that hard corner, that first hard corner. We're just going to start pieing this off. Okay, so I've noticed two things already, right? I got door to my left, door to my right, a door here, and a corner right there. So this is not fantastic because no matter what way, if these doors were open, I would be exposing myself to deeper angles. So I'm going to have to pie this off fairly quickly. So you just pie it off, and bam, get to the other corner, look at that deep corner, and finally make entry. Okay, great. Now we got the first hallway clear. And because these two doors are in fact closed, I now know that for sure, I don't have to worry about them. Usually you'd probably deal with this too while people watch forward, but if we're doing a one-man type situation, I would rather go up to this corner first, because I can hear the door open, or I can feel it behind me, or hear the lock turning, but here, someone just has to quietly step out, or even do that, and I'm dead. So I'm gonna, once I'm in and I've cleared the two hard corners to my immediate left and my immediate right and then left, I'm gonna maintain my focus on this angle right here. And as you notice, you know, I can just kind of step around this and take a look in. What I want to do is create distance between myself and the wall, so I can expose as little of myself as possible while gaining the most information into what's around this corner. So we're just going to do that. We're going to slowly but surely, and I'm going to whip around this corner right at the end and make sure it's clear. Okay, that's clear, so we can focus on these two doors now. This one's first. So we're going to open it up, right, and apply the same tactics. We're going to take a little peek there and pie off the room. Okay, I noticed that there's pretty much no corners for me that I have to deal with besides the one to my left behind the door. And there is a wide exposed angle right there, so I'm going to quickly wrap like that, make sure it's clear. And I'm going to do the same thing, create distance between myself and the wall. And Tarkov, this would just be like stutter stepping around. Just get as much into this room as I possibly can, then finish off the another hard corner that I can't see. I got to expose most of myself to go see this. And you just apply the same concepts. And it works actually very well in Tarkov. And I'll explain why. You think like, oh, this is too slow and methodical. Well, you can do this really fast. In Tarkov's movement, and I'll show it on screen here, you can 80-80 super fast. So you can actually kind of pie off these doorways and just see a little bit into the room at a time. And there you go. You've already gotten the pieing done. And the biggest thing that we can apply to Tarkov is the hard corner, because once we've seen the outside, there can always be someone holding the left of the door. And in Tarkov, people do this all the time, sitting right next to that door, sitting up on something about a ledge. So we just apply the same concept, and we'll go back to ground branch now. But because this corner, while I can't clear behind that door, or if there was no door frame, I couldn't clear that as easily, there's a huge amount of space right there. So I'm gonna first wrap like that, and clear that, and whip around and see if there's anything there. And we'll go demonstrate that in Tarkov right now. So hold on 1 second. We'll get everything set up, everything transitioned. Okay, I've got on the kind of mix up between really old Spetsnaz and a kind of newer VSS. And we're going to go into factory to demonstrate this concept, because honestly, that's probably the easiest. Because the offices are probably by far the most consistently played doors, besides maybe like 223 or even Sanitar's room, if I dare go that far. So this is a really good demonstration technique that a lot of people go into when they play factory. Gotta get a quest done, gotta kill people in the office area, you know. And well, we're loading in fast, so I don't even have to do any cuts here. Fantastic. Less editing for me. Less editing for me is always good. Time is money. So we're just gonna run straight up to the office here. Not care in the world. Didn't put on scavs or anything. I wish I could do an editor and put like a scav that doesn't shoot in there. I wish I had more control of my offline raid so I could demonstrate this more thoroughly. But same concept, right? I got these two doors. I'm gonna assume that these guys are scaredy cats. They're just gonna hold up the corner, and they don't really want to push that, so we don't even have to worry about one of them. So first, open the door. Peek into that corner. People like to be up there, so just head check, right? Just like I said, make sure you get as much clearance into those deep corners as you possibly can. And in Tarkov, this would already be clear. Next step, flashlight, and I'm just gonna 80-80 across. And you can do it faster. I know that people strafe faster than I am, more aggressively. I don't really like the strafe meta, so it's whatever. However you like to do it, however you find success, that's amazing. So you're not even going to clear this in Tarkov, because we'd already know this is good. You're just going to move through and look left immediately. And now we got a deep angle. And you know it's a deep angle because you got two thresholds. This threshold and that threshold that you got to worry about. So probably the best way to clear this is actually like just to... You know, it's pretty hard in Tarkov, but you're going to want to like sweep that really quickly. And you want to do this at lightning speed, because that's just the pace of Tarkov's meta right now. And then slowly pie this off. You know, like strafe, 80-80 strafe, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And you can even see the feet there. So technically, you wouldn't even have to worry about all the way from the end of this board or whatever, wooden board. If you're able to clear this, you just have to worry about that one very specific corner. As you just start working it, and finally, of course, execute. Give it a little pre-fire if you know someone's in there. Just... And bam, no one would hit him. Okay, well that's the end of today's Whiteboard Tarkov episode. I hope you enjoyed the room clearing stuff. I'll make sure to do some more ground branch content in the future because ooh, it's a fun game. I hope you enjoyed. I'll be doing a video very soon on this kid. It's inspired by some kids used in real life by Spetsnaz forces. You know, with all Russian gear, and I really like it. So we'll have to do a video on that. But until then, I hope you understood these concepts and you can apply it in your Tarkov or Ground Branch or whatever tactical shooter you play. I'm mlz. You can have a great day. Bye-bye.